Welcome everybody to the unofficial Ninjago podcast called Pod Jitsu. I'm your host, Steven, also known as SPI, along with my co-host, Luke Skywalker.
No, don't.
Skywalker.
No.
Yes.
No.
Alright, fine. Just Luke. That's not his last name. If it was, though.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I wish.
That would be so interesting. So, this episode, we're going to talk in depth about hashtag Sensei Wu season, the hashtag that I kind of started. I don't think I'm the first person that came up with it, but I'm the one who helped make it big, I guess. I don't know. But we're going to talk in depth on that, what we think Sensei Wu's season could be like if he gets one. Moro. Yeah, one thing about Luke that you guys should know is that he's a huge Moro fan, so if you hate Moro, click off this video. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
come on.
Do that.
Watch the entire podcast.
Moro, go try to love him more.
Love him more? Was that a pun?
We'll go with that, sure.
But before that, we're going to talk about the latest Ninjago news. This podcast is going to happen like every 2 weeks or so. Yep, so we're going to talk about all the latest Ninjago news within the last 2 weeks. And yeah. Oh yeah, also one more thing. If you guys don't want to watch like the full thing, I'm going to have the time cards in the description if you're watching from YouTube. And probably in iTunes as well. So you can just like skip to different parts. So please make sure to read the description and yeah, you can skip around and whatever. Alright, let's get right into the news!
You just made a Keemstar reference. Sean.
So, I think it was like a couple days ago, we got the first look at the Ninjago movie box art.
Yes.
Yeah, and I sent them to Luke. Luke, what are your thoughts about them?
I mean, they're really blurry. They're pretty useless, but I guess it's kind of cool.
It has like the green ninja on it a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see that.
But
He's like on the side.
And a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We don't exactly know what the plot's going to be either. Like, it's like, are they in high school? Are they not in high school?
The only thing they say is that they're going to fight against, like, this warlord, which some people think is Garmadon, but I honestly think it's someone different.
Like the Overlord?
No, I'm thinking it's someone completely different, like someone we don't know.
President Business. No, they wouldn't do that again.
Yeah, Lego movie.
It would just be somebody with his hairpiece. But it's in, like, I don't know, purple or black or something. That would be interesting. Alright, but...
I mean, it is a spin-off, so maybe.
Other than Lloyd on the box, they also had the new Ninjago movie logo where it has, like, Ninjago and in movie, and it's in, like, the style of the Lego movie design where it's, like, built out of Lego bricks, so...
Right.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm not sure if I'll get those sets, but we'll see.
Who knows?
I like the show.
Similar to like the original sets, like the pilots and stuff, but
Oh yeah, if they bring back skeletons, that'd be cool.
It makes Steven very happy.
That would. Alright, next thing on my list of news. Lloyd Garmadon, not a different Lloyd. I don't know any other different Lloyds in Ninjago. But Lloyd will get a new face print. There's actually this guy, I think his name's like Merc or something, Mercenary. He like made his own Lloyd face print on like this photo editor or whatever, and he tweeted it to Lego, and he was like, could you guys make this a thing? And they're like, oh, this is a very good idea, we will do that. And that was pretty cool.
And because of my obsession, I pointed out that half of Lloyd's new face print looks like Moro.
Yeah, it kind of does. Now that you mention that, I cannot unsee that. Thank you, Luke.
I'm spreading the Moro love.
But yeah, I'm kind of happy that Lloyd finally gets a new double-sided face on his new head, because he used to have one, and all the ninjas are getting them.
For some reason, just
made him mad. He looks very triggered.
He is the most.
Somebody ate his
evil
green
ninja.
popsicles. All of the green popsicles are gone. It was probably
no,
Cole.
they're just
Cole got
gone.
revenge for putting snakes in the refrigerator. Or Zane got a little frustrated with him and decided to prank him and is like, "Oh, you made my suit purple or pink, huh?
Pink.
Huh? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna make your.
I'm gonna eat all your green popsicles because you know I'm the ice
Shout out
ninja,
to
so I
that
love
monster.
popsicles."
The pink ninja strikes again.
That'd be so funny if that was actually Zane's favorite food. Lloyd's popsicles. All right, so I uploaded a video. I think it was my first video where it had all the Hands of Time episode names.
Right.
And Tommy Andreasen said on Twitter that the first episode name was called Hands of Time. But if you translate the Finnish one, it translates to the Time Guard. And there's kind of been a little bit of a controversy going around where it's like, is it Hands of Time or is it the Time Guard? And some people are even like, oh, Tommy Andreasen lied. They went that far with it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Right. Because I really doubt that they have something up their sleeves. Sneaky Ninjagos. Sneaky Ninjago producers. They're obviously ninjas.
Yeah. I don't really know. I'm kind of more on the side of it's Hands of Time because, I mean, Tommy Andreasen, he created Ninjago and he makes all the episodes, so I guess he would know the name, but the producers could have changed it without him knowing. I don't know.
I can't imagine they would do that.
Yeah. And Time Guard kind of makes sense because, Luke, you haven't seen the episodes, but I kind of given you some details on them. Because what's your reason for not seeing them?
I don't want to spoil myself. I want to see them in English.
We'll get
in the comments. Don't spoil it, okay?
We'll get into the release date a little bit later. So stay tuned, guys. I found out the release date for Hands of Time. I've known this for quite a while, but it wasn't confirmed until like a couple days ago. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Time Guard. Time Guard kind of makes sense because on the first episode, basically Luke, this one guy, he's one of the Time Twins, which you've seen them.
Mm-hmm.
Like you saw pictures of him. He's called Acronix, and he comes out of this portal and just like appears inside the old dojo, and like Sensei Wu is waiting for him, and he's like, I knew this time would come, and he's like the guard of time, I guess. Sensei Wu is. So
yeah, I guess so.
And then they battle it out. Wu almost falls off a cliff, even though he can use air jitsu or whatever.
Once again, showing that Wu is probably the coolest character in Ninjago, other than Moro.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that later in the podcast.
Why he deserves his own season.
You really want a Moro season, don't you?
I mean, I do, but I'll settle for Wu. I'll settle for Wu.
Yeah, give Moro more screen time.
Yay!
Alright, next thing on the news. I was late on this because I was going to make a video on this the day after it happened, and I was like, okay, never mind, forget it. I'm just going to, I don't know, not address it. But January 14th, 2017 marks the 6th year anniversary of Ninjago, officially. So, a question has been brought up within the LEGO community. Do we like Ninjago so far? Like, how it's going? I'll leave that open to you, Luke, to answer first.
Ninjago.
Yeah. Do you like how it's going so far?
How it's going? Of course. I absolutely love the way it's going. Like, the whole thing is nobody hate, but Skybound was a disappointment to me.
Because it didn't have more.
I don't hate it. It's just, it wasn't as good as a certain season before that.
Tournament of Elements, right?
Sure, let's go with that.
No, I know you mean Possession, but...
Yes, you're right, I do mean Possession. So I do like the way it's going, and I like the way they're playing it out, especially with the Day of the Departed special. That was really good. I liked that.
I don't exactly agree with that. I thought it was sped up, but they kind of changed it since the first two seasons. How they called the next one Rebooted, and at first I was like, are they gonna remake it? And they didn't, but they also did because they've had a bad guy each and every season, and in the end of each and every season, they've kind of had like a tragic moment.
Yep,
So
definitely.
there have been some changes and like less episodes as well, 10
course,
instead of
especially
13. I'm trying to think of other things. They've really expanded out the Ninjago universe. Like they've added all these villains and characters, elemental masters, whatever.
all the realms, stuff like that.
Yeah, the realms too. Probably crystals. I don't know. I uploaded
I hope so,
the
because of
theory
Marvel.
video. Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the only inspiration that they would have, but it's a cool idea. I like it.
Yeah, I'll put that in the
Good
description.
job to Steven there.
It explains the theory, my own theory about like there are hidden crystals in villain weapons, and they're gonna be like used for this ultimate thing or whatever. It's based off the Infinity Stones in Marvel, but
Yep.
you can check that out if you want. It's on SPI Ninjago YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All right, next bit of news. Some family stuff in Hands of Time.
Let's go with the flashbacks.
Yeah, in a couple of the flashbacks, there was this random ice master that was kind of revealed. He was fighting the Time Twins, and he has a cool hairpiece. It's like long
Really,
white hair.
It does remind me a lot of.
Moro.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
Old Moro.
I never said that. I never really said that, but yes, that's exactly what I meant.
If what would happen if Moro became an old man and got ice powers?
See,
that guy.
Ice and wind, like, they're not that different if you think of it. Now everybody's gonna be like, "What? What are you talking about, Luke? Ice is a different material than wind."
I would say snow
but
and wind.
Is, well, yeah, never mind. I'm not doing this right now.
But a lot of people are saying that he's Zane's grandfather, like maybe Dr. Julian's father, which isn't too far off.
And that Dr. Julian created Zane with ice powers somehow.
Yeah.
Because of the grandfather.
Yeah, some people are saying that the source of Zane's powers is in his core, and Dr. Julian created the core, and he could have like frozen it or something, or I don't know. Oh, I just thought of something. What if he used elemental crystals or something from the crystal caves, and like that's his core?
Possible, completely possible.
What if his core is a crystal?
Julian would have traveled there.
What if Zane's core is literally a crystal?
Yay, another video on that.
But yeah, not really sure on that. No confirmation or anything from Tommy Andreasen, the creator of Ninjago. But I think we did get confirmation from Tommy about this next family thing. Jay's real mother appeared in the flashback. She was mentioned. That's all she did, basically.
Yeah, biological mother, of course. Not we already met Edna, so we're in
the wife of
Fritz Donegan, or at least his
something actor. Gordon.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Cliff Gordon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and for those of you watching on YouTube, I might like put some pictures in or something. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just tell you to look them up.
Yay for editing.
I don't want to edit too much in these podcasts because it's literally a podcast.
It's completely, live.
Yeah.
Live feeling, of course.
Yeah, but we did get confirmation from Tommy Andreasen that I guess it could be her. Like, we would see more about Jay's mother. It could be his grandmother, too. I don't know.
But, I mean, yeah, that's possible, I guess. I think it's doubtful.
Because she looks the same age as Kai's father and mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The news that a lot of you probably clicked on this video or podcast and wanted to hear. The Hands of Time official English release date.
Yeah.
I've kind of known about this for a while. People have said it, but we got official confirmation a couple days ago. It will be officially starting to get released. I hope it's the full season in March of 2017.
And March is perfect, because that's only a month away for those viewing in Central North America.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's not Skybound, where they made one episode in March, and then, like,
Nope.
coming in May. It
nope.
didn't come in May. They lied, and then it came in July. And, yeah that was stupid.
It back as far as possible.
I hope they don't do that this year. That would be so bad.
That'd
Freaking Cartoon Network.
Like, I wouldn't hate Ninjago.
Those trolls.
I wouldn't like it any less if they did that, but honestly, it would be annoying, and I would be triggered.
I'm triggered! Well, it's not Ninjago's fault. It's Cartoon Network and the other programs or whatever.
Right, of course, because television programming is a thing.
Our last bit of news. The new Hands of Time song cover was just revealed. I'll put the credit in, like, the description or whatever. I think it was, like, More Fire or somebody. He, like, uploaded a video about it, so credit to him. The title is basically, it says on the cover, it says the time is near, I think, so. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a little bit fuzzy, but, yeah. Hopefully, that remix for the Weekend Whip will be awesome, I guess.
As good as the Possession one?
Oh. I was going to say as good as the rebooted one.
Rebooted? Yeah. That's also, I think that might be the best one, actually.
Yeah, that's what people usually say. Now that we've gotten through all the news, time to get into our next segment. This is something that I felt would just be, I don't know, pretty good to do. It's called Tommy's Twitter,
this is the first time we're doing this.
Where we look on Tommy's Twitter and see what he posted about whatever, and then just talk about it. You want to stalk Tommy right now? Tommy Andreasen, we're going to stalk you.
If you're watching, which you probably aren't, but if you are.
Yes, thanks for watching if you are. One thing I found is Griffin Turner he just posted, like, not right now, like days ago, the first Griffin Turner concept sketch. I sent it to Luke already. And apparently he has, like, an afro.
Which I don't know.
Like
it has too much of a Jacoby vibe.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. So I guess they kind of switch roles a little bit, like, by look. I don't know.
Yeah. I think I like the new Griffin Turner.
Yeah, same. I would like if they made him a bigger character on Ninjago. I always thought that he and Karloff and Skylar were, like, awesome.
They were the coolest.
Yeah. Karloff, I lost my metal.
Nobody else gets that joke, so we're gonna leave it.
I can explain it. I can at least try to explain it.
Go ahead, go do it.
Alright, so we were at youth camp, and then we were trying to do Russian impressions, and then I just thought about Karloff, and I was like, Karloff, I lost my metal.
Great job, okay. This is a train wreck. Okay, let's keep going.
And then John, he didn't go to youth camp, and then he just tries to do it. And we're like, you weren't there, you don't get it.
Everybody go over to John's channel. It's The Burning Baka. Hate on him. Tell him that he didn't go to youth camp.
Yeah.
And yell at him for it.
John, what were you thinking? Did you have the brain of a,
Karloff?
No, Karloff is smart.
Hardly.
How is he dumb?
I mean, he's not exactly... I mean, he's not dumb, but he's less than intelligent. Which is similar to what John is.
Alright. Just keep that in mind. Luke thinks that Karloff is dumb.
I never said he's dumb. I just said he's less than intelligent. He's not, like, on the level of, like, Skylar or Jay.
Did you just say Skylar?
Yes, I did.
Skylar's not dumb.
No,
oh,
I'm saying...
Okay, good.
He's not like a genius. He's not really intelligent. He's just...
He's not Zane. Zane's, like, the smartest out of all of them.
And that's because he's a computer. Like, he has everything access to.
He's like Mr. Narrator. For those of you who get that reference, you're awesome.
And go and check out...
SBI Studios.
Yep, where you're going to learn more about Mr. Narrator.
More stuff from Tommy's Twitter. His favorite Ninjago set is either the Temple of Light set or Sensei Wu's Dragon.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Those are hard ones to choose from.
Yeah, I really liked Sensei Wu's Dragon. I think they did really well on that, especially with the use of, like, croissant pieces and Unikitty's tail.
Yep, that was genius.
The Temple of Light, I don't know.
The Temple of Light.
I didn't like how it was incomplete.
Like, it was cool. It was, definitely.
I liked the mech.
Yeah,
I didn't end up getting that one because I don't know. I had all the minifigures from different sets, but
the viewers can't see this, but I literally have it right next to me.
I didn't like how it was incomplete. I guess I liked the mech. That almost made me get it. Except that was barely on the show. I wish they brought that back.
I mean, they might.
Tommy Andreasen, if you're watching this, you got to know two things. One, we're stalking your Twitter. Two, bring back Lloyd's mech. Even if he's not the Golden Ninja. Just bring it back.
Because we need it.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Last bit of a little interesting thing that Tommy basically said on Twitter. He said that Chima is over. And he also said that Chima will probably not be coming back. So, for all you Chima fans out there, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. But they messed up with it.
They didn't do well with it. So
they didn't.
Had to be canceled.
Yeah.
I have no problem with you Chima fans. I just have problems with Chima, okay? Don't hate me for this.
The best season that they made, in my opinion, was like the Crawler one. And then they just like ended it, and I was like, seriously? And they barely expanded it, I guess. They just didn't do that much on it, and that was sad. And then there's like Fire and Ice. I'm like, okay, I'm done with Chima.
We're done.
I still watched the episodes, but I cringed every time I watched
because
them.
of Netflix, yeah, that's exactly why.
No, the Chima moment that I remember the most is when I forgot his name, the Rhino guy, Rogan or whatever. He was like he was supposed to fight that giant mammoth. Do you know who I'm talking about? Like the
big dumb one.
And they were like, "Oh, I think we're supposed to fight or whatever." And they were like, and then they just like they picked up snowballs and they're like, "Let's have a snowball fight."
I mean, Lego has always been known to do like that quirky, childish humor, but that was too childish.
Yeah, that was just plain dumb right there.
Yeah, wasn't his name like Trumbler or something?
I don't even remember. I think the rhino was named Rogan.
Yeah, I know the rhino was named Rogan, but the mammoth was his name. I'm totally not looking it up right now. It was Mungus, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's the end of our session where we stalk Tommy Andreasen.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that, please tell us, and we will do more of stalking him.
It's not illegal unless you get caught.
Wait, is it actually illegal to stalk somebody like that?
I mean, if it's like Twitter, it's not, but it's illegal if you're stalking them in real life.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Especially if it's like, you know, a boy
they
and a
chose
girl.
Themselves to put themselves on Twitter, so it's not stalking.
Yeah. Okay. Now, getting on to our main topic for the podcast. Hashtag Sensei Wu season. Season. Not an adventure, not like a 44-minute special, because, I mean, for all you Cole fans out there, you hated it when Cole only got 44 minutes, and not even that, because...
I mean, it was 44 minutes, which isn't bad, actually. It was good. Better than what we've gotten before.
It was rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And the villains barely got any screen time, except for, you know, like Yang students, which got too much screen time, in my opinion.
And they really were there for no point other than being minions.
And they're only in, like, one set.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about...
Day of the Departed.
We're talking about Sensei Wu, the guy who... He was the first minifigure ever shown on the show.
Yep.
And he was one of the first ones to have the first line, I guess. I think he was like the third. But whatever. He's there from the beginning. He was awesome from the beginning. He's an old guy with a long beard
and a hat
and a straw hat. And I want to see that on Ninjago box art. I don't care if you people are like, hey, we want some colorful ninja or whatever. Kids like that more. Come on.
I don't care.
What kind of kid would not want to see an old guy with a straw hat on a box?
Like, honestly. what child would not want that?
Yeah. And the long white beard. Oh, it's so awesome. It's like a noodle. Combined with like a giant piece of macaroni.
Sensei Wu.
Like Dr. Saunders in Day of the Departed, his beard was like a giant noodle.
I mean, yeah.
Though Sensei Wu has that, like, noodle mustache with, I don't know.
Yeah, Sensei Wu's beard is more like an upside-down mountain.
Oh, yeah. Which symbolizes that he's the son of the creator of mountains.
Yeah!
Oh, we're going deep in this podcast.
Yeah, beard symbolism. So, I think that SPI is going to talk about what we would see in a Sensei Wu season, correct?
Mm-hmm. I have some thoughts.
On, do so.
You don't want to explain
No, you
yours? All right. So, one thing is flashbacks. I would like to see more flashbacks, but not anything that we've ever seen before, like, oh, there's a Serpentine War or whatever, the Elemental Masters were in it. No. One thing is in Possession. When you had Mora as a student, there were other students there, and people are like, what students were those? And like, is he a ninja at that moment? Is he becoming a sensei or whatever? They didn't really explore that. They were just like, he's training students. So in Sensei Wu's season, they could kind of explore
all of his students.
Him becoming a sensei. Yeah, like Mora was his first student, but I kind of don't think that Mora was the only one before the ninjas. I think he had some others. Maybe they were like failed students or whatever. Maybe there's like
Hold up, what'd you just say?
Maybe they like failed or something.
Run that past me one more time.
They failed. They failed at ninja training.
I don't think Moro did.
Well, Moro didn't, because he did good and he did better than the others. That's what Possession, I think it was like episode 2. That's what that kind of illustrated. But yeah, those.
It's also possible that they didn't fail, but like they
quit
turned in some way.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Sensei Wu never mentioned Moro, because he turned.
Yeah.
So that could also be a thing. A little bit of a.
I kind of feel like Sensei Wu has a lot of secrets. Like in Hands of Time, I'm not sure if I told you this before, but there's like this one part in the episode in the English translation, and Crux, who's one of the time twins, he basically told Kai, he's like, oh, Sensei Wu, he lied to you. Your parents turned from being good guys fighting Serpentine or whatever into traitors, and now they're helping us. And he's like, what? No, Sensei Wu didn't lie or whatever. And he was like, no, Sensei Wu's a liar. So maybe Sensei Wu has like a lot of stuff that he hasn't told them, like Moro, for example. They didn't know that Moro.
We never heard of him until Winds of Change.
Yeah. And
so Sensei Wu's definitely a mysterious character, and if he had his own season, we'd have a lot of mysteries introduced and a lot of mysteries solved.
Yeah. And we barely know anything about his father. We just know he created Ninjago. We don't know if he created the other realms either. Like
yeah, you're right.
Like they just showed up, and at the beginning it was like, it's Ninjago that was created and whatever, and yeah, and then later it's like, oh yeah, there's like, the underworld, the dark realm, the Cloud Kingdom. Okay, what? How did they get created? I mean, one could be like, it was God. And it's like, okay. But because at the beginning of the show, it kind of looked like the first Podjitzu master was basically the god of Ninjago. But as the show progressed, it was like, no, he's the father. He's just some dude that he built mountains. So, God could exist in the Ninjago universe. He probably does. And then he created the first Spinjitzu master. And the first Spinjitzu master married somebody. I don't know. Like, how did he have a son?
I mean, yeah, he obviously
Two
married
sons.
somebody. That could also be in a...
Yeah, who's their
He
mother?
could meet his mama.
Yeah, like, nobody knew who Lloyd's mother was, and then they just, like, randomly introduced her. That could be the same case.
Of
Could be
course.
like, yeah. And where'd Misako come from? Just some random person?
Shows up.
Some random love interest? And Garmadon's like, oh yeah, she's a childhood friend or whatever, and we both were fighting over her. I don't know.
But, of course, we could also definitely point out that Misako would also be a really big part of Sensei Wu season.
They could kill her off. I would be fine with that. She's kind of
Don't
just
say
been
that,
there.
Steven. We're gonna hate you.
Who's gonna hate me?
Because there are some people who like Misako.
I think she's just there, and she doesn't really have too much.
I like the way they use her. She's just a
Yeah,
mother. She doesn't
I guess that's
have
true.
powers.
Yeah, I guess you're right. They shouldn't kill her off. They should
Lloyd
explore her more.
Lloyd would turn to the dark side.
Or he would just get mad and, like, I don't know, kill whoever.
Lloyd would go kill all the Tusken Raiders. Nobody else. If you get that reference, that's good.
Yes.
Good job.
Well, he does have the same hairpiece as Anakin, so.
Yay, Lloyd is Anakin confirmed.
And then he's gonna become, what is it? What did you come up with about, like, the Overlord? I want you to say. He will become the Overlord, and he have, like, a Darth Vader helmet or whatever.
Star Wars Ninjago crossover. You heard it here first. Confirmed.
Well, actually, Star Wars was kind of Tommy's inspiration for, like, I don't know, cartoons and stuff or whatever, is what he kind of said. So maybe there'll be some more Star Wars aspects or whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot of references.
Speaking of Star Wars, I'm not sure if I pointed this out to you, but in the second season of Ninjago, like after Lord Garmadon just made the mega weapon in the whatever it's called, the Golden Peaks or whatever, Sensei Wu, he had like the spirit smoke, I think. He was meditating and he just looked up and he said, "I sense a disturbance in the Force."
Oh yeah.
And then the episode ended. And I'm just like, what? What? The Force is in Ninjago? Hashtag Sensei Wu is a Jedi. Confirmed.
That explains why he's so awesome.
That was...
And the way he uses his staff as a weapon sounds a lot like a certain Jedi master I know.
Oh. Well, he came before, what's his name? Donnie Yen's character in Rogue One. I forgot his name. I don't know. Blind Staff Dude. That's just what we're going to call him. Sensei Wu is like Blind Staff Dude.
I was talking about Yoda, but okay.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Sensei Wu, he could be a Jedi. He could have some powers that we haven't explored. Like, okay, for one thing, he has a dragon. Elemental Masters have dragons. And he's related to Lloyd.
We don't really see much of an element in specific for Sensei Wu.
But people have kind of assumed that the first Spinjitzu Master is an Elemental Master. And that's where Lloyd got his powers. So couldn't Sensei Wu and Garmadon be Elemental Masters as well?
That's possible. And if they... That's also... might be why Sensei Wu has the golden Spinjitzu.
Yeah. And Garmadon has purple. So what people are saying is Sensei Wu could be creation and Garmadon could be destruction. That's a very popular theory. Which pretty much makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And then with Lloyd being more of redemption, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
For the destruction of Garmadon.
Yeah, I guess. He kind of started off bad, though.
He started off as a brat. He was not evil.
Yeah, I expected him to be the Green Ninja, and I was like, oh no, there's gonna be a brat as the Green Ninja, and it's like, they made him cool. Kind of. I like older Lloyd. He's not my favorite ninja. I like all the ninjas basically, but I didn't like him when he was younger. He was annoying. Zane got mad at him and he ate all his popsicles.
Why did he ninja?
He pranked Cole, so Cole ate his popsicles too.
That's exactly why Lloyd looks so triggered in the new face print.
Oh yeah.
It's genius. Zane's favorite food is Lloyd's popsicles.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit about Misako. Like, her character could be explored more, but so there's kind of like a little bit of a love triangle where there's Wu and there's Garmadon and there's Misako. For one thing, Wu was cheating on, or Misako is cheating on Garmadon.
I mean, Garmadon's in the cursed
and
realm.
They're not
He's
divorced.
Probably not coming back.
No, I mean before that, like when he was evil and he was clearly alive, and they weren't divorced or whatever, as far as we know. So Misako is cheating on Garmadon and like holding Wu's hand and stuff. Basically.
Because she thinks that Garmadon's evil, and she's like, I should have chosen you.
A mature aspect in a kid's show that I just pointed out.
Yeah, hey, adultery.
And kids don't really...
Yeah, that's not... I doubt that's what they're meaning to do, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it's someone other than that. They probably did get divorced, which is also kind of a mature thing, so...
But did they, though? I heard that they can't have, like, a lot of death. Like, kids' programs look at that. But, I mean, the freaking cursed realm got destroyed. So, how many people are in there? Thousands? Millions?
A lot.
That's a lot of death. I don't think the kids' show realizes that. Because they didn't say it, but everybody just, like, dissolved in the water. Including Garmadon. That's been confirmed. And Chen.
Which kind of sucks.
Yeah. But another thing, Garmadon could come back in Sensei Wu season. Like, everybody that likes Sensei Garmadon or Bad Garmadon, he could be the villain in that. Or just another supporting character. They could use, like, the Time Blades or whatever and bring him back. Possibly.
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
I would like that. And maybe it could be just for that season. I would be okay with that. Because if they, like, you know, kept him around, it'd just be like, okay. They just brought back another character. But if he's only, like, temporarily, like, he has a certain amount of time, like the villains on Day of the Departed.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's a fan favorite.
They need them, because I'm sure Sensei Wu wasn't the only person who ever trained anyone.
Yeah. Chen. And Yang. And maybe another sensei that could be the villain in that season.
Exactly.
But I do think that Garmadon will appear in more flashbacks. Obviously,
he will.
If there's going to be a Sensei Wu season. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this, but a little bit of the backstory within hashtag Sensei Wu season. So I tweeted Tommy Andreasen a little bit of a while back, and I was like, is there a chance for Sensei Wu to get a season? And he was like, I hope so. And I was like, whoa, what? And then later I created the hashtag and whatever. And I asked Brent Miller, and Brent Miller thinks that it's an awesome idea. Paul Dobson, the voice actor for Sensei Wu, is like, wait, yeah, why didn't I get a season yet? I would like to see a Sensei Wu season.
Wow, a lot of people want it. Perhaps we started something.
And I asked the writers of Ninjago, and they kind of said, you know, there's been character development in seasons and whatever, and they didn't directly answer it. They've said that they haven't thought about it.
Yep, dodged the subject.
Yeah. But a lot of people have been kind of supporting the idea. We've gotten a couple of big Ninjago YouTubers that have tweeted it to the creators of Ninjago and stuff. So thank you for everybody that's done that. Amazing Lego 123, I think was one of them, and I don't remember the others. I'm sorry if I didn't mention you, but you're awesome. Whoever did it, thank you.
You are awesome, and you should feel awesome. So
hashtag Sensei Wu season. Okay, one thing that people might be thinking about me that hasn't really been revealed, but people are like, oh, Sensei Wu's your favorite character. Well, actually, at the beginning of Ninjago, like whenever he got eaten by the Great Devourer, they were gonna kill him off. I was like, okay, this dude's like 100. He's gonna die eventually. They should just kill him off now. Like, I was savage. And I actually I wanted them to kill off Sensei Wu and, like, go on with it. Because he's an old guy. And he'll die eventually.
Steven?
He what?
Who was your actual favorite character?
This might trigger you, but back then my favorite character was Kai.
Hate you. Thank you so much.
And then it changed to Zane, okay? It changed to Zane, like in Rebooted. And then now I don't know. I like them all, except maybe Nia. Sorry, Nia. You're not as developed.
Leave Nia alone.
I'm not saying Nia's bad. She's a good ninja and samurai, and yeah, she's just not my favorite. The other 5 are probably. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's true.
And it was useful, so.
But now I like what they're doing with Sensei Wu, and I'm like, okay, kill him off at the end of his own season, because that's like the proper time. Like, don't kill him off in Hands of Time, or before he gets his own season, because that's just rude. And a lot of people are like, they're going to kill him off at the ends of Hands of Time, and I'm like, come on, his own season, he deserves one. That kind of reminds me of one of the next things I want to talk about. Isn't it, like, an appropriate time to kill off Sensei Wu? Like, at the end of his own season? What do you think about that?
I feel like the ninja have kind of come into their own, as their own kind of
masters,
powerful beings, and they're kind of similar to Sensei Wu in this case, and that Sensei Wu might have taught them all that they need to do, so maybe so. Maybe Sensei Wu needs to move on in the world.
Yeah, and like Lloyd, he's already been like the leader, and he's gonna be trained by Sensei Wu, is kind of what it sounds like, to become a sensei. So they could kill off Wu in his own season, and then Lloyd would take over as the sensei. Sensei Lloyd. I would like that.
Would cry and stuff, but in all honesty, I think that's a good idea.
But I'm only asking you this one thing, Lego, okay? This one important thing. If you're gonna kill off Sensei Wu, do it right by making it happen at the end of his own season. If it doesn't happen during his season or adventure or whatever it may be that is his own, then you did it wrong and you're being stupid. I'm sorry, but it's kind of true.
Steven, we don't want that kind of... No, we don't know. No, he doesn't mean that, Lego.
I mean, Lego, you're awesome, but don't make it bad, okay? Make it good, because I know you usually make it good. You're usually good about that. Like, tragic moments and everything.
You're really good at deaths.
Yeah. Props to you, Lego, Higman Brothers, Tommy Andreas, and everybody that's worked on that. You're all good at that. But please, be good at making Sensei Wu's death proper and awesome. I don't know. Can a death be awesome?
Should a death be awesome? No, I think it should be sad and heart-wrenching.
I mean, like, made awesome. Like, made proper and not made bad. Like, somebody dies and they're like, oh, I'm dying. And they make, like, a death sound for, like, a minute and then they finally die. That's, like, the worst made.
I'm thinking
that happens in all cheesy movies.
Or something.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
He would die. That's how he'd want to die.
Like, there's a bullet and it's about to head towards all the ninjas, and it's gonna, like, blow them all up, and then Sensei Wu just, like, goes in front of it, and he reflects it or whatever, but it's still...
my students, I'm done. And he would die there, and then you'd just see his robe, and it would make everybody cry.
No, it would be much better if it was, like, all of Ninjago, or, like, the universe or whatever. It's like somebody's just gonna destroy all of the realms, and then he's like, no, I'm not gonna let you. And then he dies, and he doesn't come back. And it's like, he paid the ultimate price.
Yeah, I feel like
in your face, Zane! No, he wouldn't say that. But now that I think about it...
Sensei Wu would want to die. I think he'd want to die in a sacrificial way.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, people would kind of compare Zane and Garmadon's death with that, and they'd be like, which one was more meaningful or whatever, and better.
Garmadon's death was more meaningful because he's actually dead.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I guess you're right. Zane was really caring and stuff, and I don't think at the time he knew that he would come back. Maybe he planned on it. I don't know. But, yeah. That was really good of him to blow himself up to stop the Overlord and save Ninjago.
Oh.
And speaking of the Overlord, I know there are a lot of Overlord fans out there, and I just want to point out, if you're going to hate on hashtag Sensei Wu season, and you love your hashtag bring back the Overlord, I think that's the most popular Ninjago hashtag out there, and you're like, yeah, bring him back, whatever, and Tommy Andreasen has already confirmed that he's not dead. I don't know if you knew this, Luke, but he's like he's the manifestation of evil, so you can't kill him, basically. And the ninja are going to find out eventually that he's alive, or whatever. I'm not sure if he can be a main villain, but they could explore that on Sensei Wu season. Because what's their relationship with each other? Do they know each other? Sensei Wu knew about the Overlord, but how much did he know about him? How much did he know about his father's battle with him? I would really like to see a flashback where it's the first Podjitzu master, and he creates the golden weapons, and then he has a battle against the Stone Army, and they have the Temple of Fortitude.
You mean those weapons that were used for 2 seasons?
Well, not just 2 seasons. I mean, they brought him back, and the Overlord got him. But
yeah, they're not really helpful.
I didn't like that at first. I hated it. I was like, come on. Why did you do this? I like the golden weapons.
Blades, they just didn't seem right. They did a little bit better with the...
They improved it because they expanded out, okay, we don't need golden weapons. The ninjas have their own powers.
Yeah.
They're not limited. It's not going to be, oh, the villains steal the golden weapons all the time and whatever.
Yeah, because that was what it was.
Yeah. And the Serpentine, it was dumb because they didn't realize the power of the golden weapons. Like in the first season.
No, really
they have captured their golden weapons before, but they're just like, oh, we're going to release the Great Devourer. What do you think is more powerful? The Great Devourer or the golden weapons combined?
The way they portrayed the Great Devourer, they made it seem like he was a giant serpent that was as big as the planet.
Yeah.
And it could destroy everything, but really it was just an oversized worm.
Yeah, but you couldn't really kill it unless you're Garmadon with weapons more powerful than it. And I want to point this out.
That's exactly why.
If Pythor combined the golden weapons in the Golden Peaks, he would create the mega weapon, and obviously he can't do that, so he would need to capture Garmadon or whatever. And then he could tell Garmadon to wish to create the Great Devourer with the mega weapon.
But would Garmadon do that? Garmadon's kind of his own dude. He wouldn't.
But he could point a knife to Garmadon's throat and threaten to kill him.
Garmadon would find a way to get out of that, I'm telling you.
And it's a kid's show, so I guess they can't have that. But they have had that before. With I'm trying to think what it was. Oh yeah, the first episode of the second season, and the Venomari, had a knife to Jay's throat. So, I guess they've had that.
Yeah, but...
I don't know. I wanted to point that out. The golden weapons are stronger than the Great Devourer.
Is that a pun? Point that out, a point, a sharp, a point, because it's a knife. Ha 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 ha.
Let's move on.
Yep. Can we talk about my favorite part of this whole thing?
Yeah, I already know what it is, so you talk, and I'm gonna sigh.
So, if there was a Sensei Wu season, it would probably give a certain character some more free screen time.
And you're obviously talking about your favorite character, Kai.
Go away. No. I'm talking about Moro. Because Moro was Sensei Wu's student, his first student, who he obviously he put a lot of heart into. And that he probably did love him as a student, love him as a son, like he does in the ninjas.
Yeah.
And when he betrayed him, I'm sure it really hurt Sensei Wu's heart. Mm-hmm. But now he's a good guy. He would totally work with Sensei Wu.
Mm-hmm. I just
in the
thought of
season, something that was like an enemy of Sensei Wu and his old students, or even one of his old students that Moro would have known.
Do you think that they would bring him back? Because he's already been brought back before. So.
I mean, he
or just in flashbacks.
I hope they do.
You have the hope.
I hope they do.
You have the
I'm
hope.
Not saying it's completely. It's going to happen. I'm not going to say that, but it's possible. It's completely plausible.
I think you have the hope that he's going to return and become one of the ninjas.
Yeah, let's leave that for another thing. Okay?
Yeah. Moro is kind of like either people don't like him or they like him.
Yep.
I like him. He's not my favorite villain, but I like him. I like how they made his character and everything.
Because he wasn't just obsessed with power. He was an angry person.
Angry at the world. Angry at not being the Green Ninja. Angry at Wu. Yep.
And he wanted revenge, but in the end, he kind of let go of his hateful feelings.
Mm-hmm. And that was probably one of the, I don't know.
Maybe, one of the greatest redemption moments in all of Ninjago.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. It was probably one of the greatest changes, I guess, within a character.
The biggest character change.
Yeah.
And it made sense. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to make this really bad character suddenly a good guy.
Serpentine. No motive.
That as well.
My biggest complaint. I'm going to make a video devoted to that. Like, I hate it so much. I
want to be there for that. I want to be there for that because I really hate that.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people do.
Okay, everybody in the comments, tell us how much you hate
Serpentine going straight.
Yeah. Scales as a child.
No, I don't hate that. I would like Scales to have like a child that's evil.
That they're suddenly settling down and becoming like a normal suburb, and they help the ninja and stuff.
Technically, they should be mad at the ninja because, you know, they're trapped underground, and
they did it for no reason.
They could find a way to blame them.
Good, but there was no reason.
No motive at all. Just
nothing.
No good motive, at least. But anyway, we're getting off topic here.
Right.
But they could turn good or bad. They could turn bad. I don't want them to turn good. They could turn bad in a hashtag Sensei Wu season. Because hear me out. Sensei Wu, he was the one that had the sacred flute, and they didn't like that. And he was the last one to have it. So I don't know what I'm going at. I don't think they'd bring the Serpentine back. Forget I ever said that. Forget it.
Actually, no, I like your idea here.
Okay.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because I just remembered something.
Serpentine are a big part in Ninjago?
No. Arcturus.
Ah, yes. I want him to be explored more. I know he was kind of turned into a good guy, but I don't know. If he was a bad guy, that'd be cool, because he's probably one of the coolest, in my opinion, and they barely explored him.
Yeah,
golden shoulder
he's
pads.
Always been that big, the big character that everybody's like, oh man, he's a god of serpents. He's like the god of serpents among them.
I don't know about that. That was more like the Great Devourer, but
yeah, he was more like the Hercules of serpents. If that's
okay, now I get what you're saying.
Like the main hero, like they're the one they look up to.
Yeah, and so they named constellations after him or whatever.
They named the ship.
Yeah, that too.
The rocket Arcturus. Because of that
Skype
one
sounds.
episode where they went into space.
Yeah. Tommy Andreasen said that there would not be a season based off space, by the way. I just want to point that out. People are like, is there going to be that where they fight aliens? He's like, heck no.
Ninja versus aliens.
I think he said absolutely not, but yeah, close enough.
Of course not. Like, why? Why would someone want that? Like, I understand some people want that kind of thing, but in all honesty, that's kind of stupid.
It's stale. Like, other shows are doing that. But
every other show is doing that.
What we could have is... Never mind, just forget it. Sensei Wu and space don't go together.
Don't you dare.
At all.
No.
I wasn't going to do space. I was going to do like he has, like, I don't know, some sort of backstory or whatever. Just forget it. Forget I ever mentioned that. That would be stupid.
Really bad. Like, we talked about him being a Jedi, but that does not mean he has to live in a galaxy far away.
No, he doesn't. But he could secretly have like force powers or whatever. Like, he knows the force. So
the force surrounds everything.
And actually, I'm not sure if you saw it, but did you see the last Star Wars Rebels episode with like Mandalorian backstory? Kanan revealed something that it gave me basically like a revelation upon the Force, because he said the Force abides in all living things. And I know that's kind of been said before, not in that way, but it kind of makes me think, could anybody use the Force in Star Wars?
They gotta have the proper mindset. And notice most people who have used the Force have had some kind of sacrifice. Like, nobody who's used the Force doesn't have some kind of sacrifice.
That's true.
Like, with Luke, his aunt and uncle died.
Mm-hmm.
And with Anakin, his mother.
You know, I feel really bad for you, Luke.
You're done.
But
so
that could kind of mean
that maybe it takes a little bit of a despair kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Like the loss of something that allows you to like use the Force. Like, I know that's something people do say sometimes, because that's common among people who use the Force. Because nobody that uses the Force hasn't gone through tragedy.
But if anyone could kind of get into that mindset and use it, couldn't Sensei Wu do that? Hashtag Sensei Wu is a Jedi.
This is a different universe, Steven, okay?
Yeah.
Disney's gonna start hating us because we're putting Star Wars in Lego.
There already is Lego Star Wars.
No, in a different Lego.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, we all know Disney doesn't want to share Star Wars. No offense, Disney, you're beautiful people. You did well. Just keep doing it, okay?
Yeah. Hashtag Obi-Wan movie.
Are you kidding me? Stop! Stop! You just love it when the mentors get their own story, huh?
No, like he's 20 years on a planet looking after a kid who may or may not. Okay, we're not going to get into that. This is not a Star Wars podcast.
This is Ninjago. Keep going.
Okay, so Sensei Wu, he may not have the Force, but he probably does have an element. I'm just going to say that he probably has somewhat of an element, because he has a dragon. He's the son of the first Podjitzu master, who most likely is an elemental master. He's the uncle of Lloyd, who had green energy power and like fire, earth, ice, and lightning or whatever. So I think it's safe to say that Sensei Wu has some type of power within him that has not been explored.
I mean, it could be light. It could be the master of light.
Bionicle. That's pure bionicle. We've had fire, earth, ice,
been canceled. Stop.
Lightning, earth. We haven't had stone, but it's kind of like earth. We've had air with Moro, water with Nia. What am I forgetting? Oh yeah,
okay,
light.
Stop trying to turn the Bionicles into ninja.
I think that's everything that I have had planned. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad because I thought of everything that I was going to do with like the news and Tommy's Twitter and the topic, but I don't know how to end this.
Oh, I have a way to end this.
Okay.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Okay, so, if you like this podcast, Steven and I will be making another one next week?
Maybe next week, maybe the week after next week. I don't know how we'll do this.
And if you have any ideas for what we could do on this podcast, make sure to enter in the comments what you might want. And until next time, I'm thinking of something quippy to say.
Something about Pod Jitsu. Keep practicing Spin Jitsu and watch one of your hopefully favorite podcasts, Pod Jitsu.
Nope, never mind. Copyright. In the recording.
Hopefully, we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.